Good evening, everyone. This is Henry Gambell with SimplerOptions.com, and in today's free video, I wanted to touch on Mastercard. This is a ticker that we've been focused on in the chat room for a couple of days now. I mean, we got started on it at the beginning of the week, but I think it brings up a couple of interesting things in relationship to understanding the trend. Because John first came up with this trade, and then when I was analyzing it in the chat room, a few people were saying, isn't this more of a bearish trend? And I think it's probably worth coming back to look at, because if you were just to approach it from something like this channel, yes, it has been making a pattern of lower highs and lower lows, which is usually how most people would define a bearish trend. Not to mention, if you were to take this price action that we just covered, it came in and say, well, let's look at the symmetry inside this move, well, then you are still respecting bearish symmetry. And let's look at the second level. Very close to it, but essentially what I'm pointing out is that you'll be able to come in here and you'll find levels that you could point to as resistance. So how do you decide which direction to take this as far as the squeeze is concerned? One of the most helpful things that I found on the daily chart is very basic, which is great because that's how we try to keep things here. If I come back over to my study sets, we've created the 5, 100, and 200 simple day moving averages. And adding these into your charts, I think you would be surprised to find how much it can really help your setups. Because then we suddenly see, wow, that really did respect that 50-day very clearly. And it just helps you stick with the overall pattern of the move and helps you put yourself on, hopefully, the side of least resistance. So that's one very basic way of looking at it. The other way that I will try to help people with this type of analysis is to step back to your weekly charts, because these tend to offer a lot more clarity. And what I will do with something like this is just look at the 10 and 34. As long as they are respecting those moving averages, the smaller of the two is on top of the larger. That shows you that we have a, generally speaking, a bearish trend or a bullish trend in play. And then I will try to stick with that momentum. So those are a couple things that I try to use with that setup. I think that will help you determine the trend in somewhat choppy markets and hopefully help you add an edge to your trading. On the concept of adding an edge to your trading, we will also have a webinar next Tuesday. So we've got a 3-day weekend ahead of us, of course. And then that Tuesday that we return from this from 3 to 5 Central. So it is during market hours, but John will be going over the billionaire mindset. A couple of things that he picked up from Richard Branson when he was hanging out with him, and I am very much looking forward to hearing from that. So if you'd like to check it out, that is free for all of our gold members. If instead you would like to just sign up to check out the class, it's $197. Either way, I would like to see you there, and hopefully that helps with Mastercard.